Yeah, there's no degree for that. And you mentioned information and handling information. Uh, that was one of the subjects I wanted to touch on also, in terms of handling information externally is one thing. When you talk to media members or whatever, it's like there's not much openness about certain details, and it shouldn't be. But within externally with other clubs or with other sports directors, other GMs, other coaches from other clubs, I would like for you to explain which information do you see vital to withhold from from other people outside the organization, but within our profession or within the professional realm, and which information, how open are you within the organization with each other to have the information flow between the different roles?
Well, people here, and not only here, say I talk too much. I'm too open. But besides having my reasons for talking too much, I'm open because I believe that the more people know, the better they can help. Of course, there is a limit to especially nowadays when it comes to sensitive topics like personal health, or nowadays in the COVID times, or if look, we were coming out of the Zipser situation from that happened in May. Of course, I remember people asking me what is really going on, and I had to withhold that, but eventually it came out. It was just that you do not know what kind of use people are going to do of such a personal type of information. But look, when it comes to other stuff, this is one of the things I learned with the Pistons, because George David is again now the assistant GM of the franchise. He told me that one night he was at the game, and the scout from another franchise next to him, the executive, saw that he was forwarding me his scouting report on whatever college player. And this person asked him, like, wow, you send your reports to international scout. How could you trust him? And George answered, like, why would I hire him if I don't trust him? which is pretty obvious. But, there's a famous poet, a writer in Italy that said, like, the most understood truths are the first ones that will get forgotten, because you tend to it's understood. Yeah, of course, it's a given. And then you forget. Yeah. And in this, to me, it's based on the situation, but there is nothing overall, with some exceptions, of course, but there is nothing overall that I'm going to hide from the people I work with. I need them to know, because our coaching staff, for example, need to know certain things and need to be involved in the decision-making, knowing what the hierarchy of the club is, because anybody's point of view can be helpful in that sense. They might see stuff that I don't pay attention to. They might find out stuff that I don't know. So in this sense, okay, it's easy when you have a short front office. With the Pistons, the first years before Van Gundy came in, we had like 6 or 7 guys, and I was one of those 6 or 7. So for me, it was really a blessing in that sense, because I could absorb a lot of things and learn in that sense. But I understand that there are others who might behave differently. But this is the only way I can do.
Okay, yeah, that explains it. I mean, there has to be a certain amount of a lot of trust within the organization with each other to open up, and otherwise there will be no progression. If there's the other person that feels that there is a little bit of something is being withheld, then there's automatically going to be a mistrust between the two parties, and I always try to avoid it. I'm also, a lot of times I'm probably way too transparent, but I feel like I have to be that way with people in order to understand where I'm coming from.
Well, look, Benes, let me tell you one thing, an example, because okay, I mentioned the Zipser problem back in May, and I don't want to go over the topic, but since it's communication related, I remember receiving the call from Marko Pesic, our general manager, and the doctor, informing me of everything that happened. Okay. And I was like, wow, because I did not understand the magnitude of the problem. And the first thing they told me was like, don't tell anything to the coaches, because we do not have enough details. Okay, we do not know how to deliver the message. I've been going back and forth in my mind that day. Okay, yeah, I understand why they say that, but I felt personally that Andrea Trinchieri should have known. He had the right to know that. So if Marco listens to this podcast, he's probably going to fire me on the spot. But I called Andrea out for dinner, because this is definitely something you would not deliver over the phone. And I told him, we had a game the night before, and Paul was on the bench, and he didn't feel like playing, of course. Certain things that happened during the game, tensions like always during the game. So I felt imperative to share this with Andrea, because I know he would handle it the right way. And it was such an intense moment for us that maybe, you never know if you're right or wrong in these things. I also felt like, it's Paul's right to share this, not mine. But at the same time, it was something that, we were overwhelmed with everything. And
It sounds like it was a gut decision. It sounds like it was a gut decision to go that route.
Look, I've been delivering bad news to my parents, and that was about my personal problems, and that was the toughest thing to do, to inform them, not to handle with the problems, health issues and so on and so on. That was a tough thing to do, and I tried to put myself into their shoes, and that's what I did with Andrea that day, and I'll never forget.
I'm sure. It's a high intense pressure moment to open up about these kind of things and to deliver bad news. I mean, I can't even imagine. I hadn't had to do that to this point.
Well, both of us were, wow, he's not going to play the finals. At first me, and then it was him. I'm like, well, I think you're missing the point here. And I remember he was, Andrea, he was speechless for the next 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And he went back with his mind. Why did I say this? Why did I do that? But Andrea, listen, I mean, it's not about you. It's about him now. But you need to know. I think you need to know. This is how I felt. Maybe I was wrong. Probably I was wrong. But this is the way I felt on stage, and this is the way I behaved.